All right, how you doing?
Welcome to Slush.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. All right, thank you for sitting with us. 60 seconds, want to tell everyone what Acumino does? I know that you had a presentation earlier, but a lot of the folks here right now are...
I don't mind at all. I like talking about Acumino.
You like hearing yourself talk.
That's what I do. No, I like talking about Acumino, not the other way around. So basically, Acumino is a company that specializes in AI for robotics. Our goal is to make a hardware agnostic AI models that allow machines to be able to be high dexterity machines and operate in industrial automation.
You operate in some of the toughest industrial environments. What's the biggest commercial problem that your customers are just begging you to solve?
So when we usually engage with these organizations, they come to us mostly because they have a labor shortage. So they cannot find people. So they say, okay, if we cannot find people let's use robots. But in reality, even if they deploy their own robots, we can make these existing robots smarter and better. So they kind of look in the tree and they're missing the forest. And the forest is, let's work and make super high efficient the current infrastructure you have, because it's very possible. And then we can see how we can replace totally human beings that they created shortages in your factory and facility.
All right, so talking about replacing human beings, are you saying that you see the future of industry being kind of robot first?
I think what's going to happen is humans don't want to perform certain tasks eventually. So we will see robots taking over this work, these tasks that they could be dangerous. They need to be in a clean environment, like at a food or beverage. Or there could be jobs that nobody really wants to do anymore. Yeah. They're tedious, repetitive, and what's the point of using a machine like a human that's super high intelligent to do something very boring? So I think that's what's going to happen eventually. Then, yeah, maybe we'll see some of the replacements happen, but I think we should start there.
So from a dual-use perspective, you guys operate primarily, exclusively in the commercial market, but you are like tinkering around with the idea of defense. The interest there, does it come from inbound interest? Is it just a technology fit that your team just sees a perfect, cookie cutter situation, or is it just pure curiosity of the team?
I think that the defense space, they're dealing with the same issues and problems that everyone in commercial side has. So it's nothing different. So definitely that became a natural fit for us to start engaging in conversation like that, especially when we talk about the defense in our current times, that they're looking to scale up production really quick. It's going to be hard for these kind of facilities to find human beings fast enough to produce. So definitely looking into robotic solutions could be something interesting for them. And to spice it up a little bit also, if you work in a high defense, high security defense facility, and you bring a robot, you cannot go back outside of your friends and talk about what you do when humans do that, right?
Robots don't gossip?
Not much, I mean, it depends what you want. We can make them gossip a little bit.
You can tune the algorithm for that.
We're giving that.
All right. So just on this topic, I wasn't thinking about asking you this, but I am. Because I also followed your presentation earlier. You guys could technically create ad hoc, stand-up production lines anywhere, because you just need to take your software to a robot and they can assemble different types of machines, like a drone, let's say, or something like that, pretty quickly.
If I answer now, yes, all the technical teams back in Acumino will hate me. But the answer is yes, potentially, anywhere we can deploy robotic arms. The goal that we have is, I know it sounds simple, but the goal we have is when you open the box of a new robotic arms to be able to put them on our model, on our cloud, and be able to perform high dexterity items, and high dexterity tasks, and be able to redeploy if needed, and there is a bottleneck somewhere else in the production, to redeploy this same robot and perform another task within hours, within days, and not within months.
So it's also a great maintenance fix, right? Just send the robot to fix the part, or turn the screw, or whatever. Oh.
Oh yeah, eventually we will see robots fixing robots, and it's gonna happen. Yeah, of course.
I feel like I'm gonna be out of a job very soon.
What do you think I took this job?
Yeah, okay. All right. So, from a commercial lens, what's the smartest way for a growth stage company to test defense without losing focus of their prime market line?
It's case by case. It goes case by case, right? It's not an easy question. I think I would start with something high repetitive, simple, that we can help relieve time from human beings and repurpose them to stuff that matters, or something, as I showed you guys earlier, something very high dexterity. But right now it takes too much time to a human being to perform, and a robot can take over. Basically, it's the same principles that we would use or we would think about in any other type of facility, any type of factory out there. We would think in the same way for the defense space.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask, though. You have a lot of some of your clients are like large, complex industries. Let's just say like the automotive industry. That's a complex space, right? Also a lot of IP. But how different or similar do you expect, like from your point of view now, not being in, like when you look at defense, are you like, man, this is going to be tougher? Or do you view it as a market that you kind of have experience in through the other types of customers that you deal with?
It's I do believe that certain tasks and learnings could be applied as you operate in the defense space. Nothing is always exactly the same. Everything is different. But if you setting up a battery for a battery that goes to a car, I guess when you set up a battery that goes to a tank, it will be kind of very close to each other. So the model will get better from the commercial aspect of our business, and will help us ramp up faster the defense side of our business.
So one more question. What do you see as the biggest barrier for deep tech founders, both Acumino, considering that you're not in defense yet, but if you will, more broadly for people listening to us, what do you consider the biggest barrier for deep tech founders who are considering entering into defense? Is it the mindset? Is it access? Is it just the complex processes?
Trust.
Trust. Ooh.
So we're talking about some very sensitive type of projects with very tight timelines and with some very important information. Right? Digitizing a factory that builds tanks for a defense space company, you hold some pretty important assets of those, right? So trust is the one, I think it's the very first thing, and trust takes time. So we're talking about longer sales cycles. However, I do believe the need that exists right now can accelerate things.
Okay, so I'm going to flip that around. I know it said it was the last question. Apparently it's not.
Keep it coming.
But do you think the defense industry needs to loosen up a little bit when it comes? Do you think it needs to take on more risk? Because to your point about the times and the trust needed, do you think they need to create mechanisms to absorb more risk in a way that allows them to still be resilient and responsible toward their stakeholders, the citizens of their countries?
Yeah, and again, we see exactly the same behaviors in the commercial space, right? There is a lot of competition out there, and there is industrial corporate secrets that nobody wants to get out there. So even if you work with large automotive manufacturers versus a defense company, trust issues could be there, and long sales cycle are there. But I do believe, to your point, is these large organizations, they have set up innovation arms that allows them to test companies like us in a safe environment and then bring them into the production.
Yeah.
If we see defense companies do the same, hopefully you kind of bridge this gap faster. So hopefully imitating this model can help them grow faster.
Okay. All right. I guess, and just we're all dying to know, why were you late?
I was just pitching to another company for the commercial side.
No,
So looking for the defense people too, if they want
You
to join
should
us.
plead the fifth and never answer that question.
I'm an
Say
open
it
book.
one time. All right. Thank you so much, George. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time and thank you for having me. Thank you very much.